Did you know that today is International Cat Day?
Cat Day.
Mhm.
What? Lucky cat. What are you supposed to do for your cats on International Cat Day?
Considering we don't already treat them like gods, what else do we do?
I was going to say, well, it's not feeding them because we do feed them, giving them cuddles, they get cuddles. Um, yeah, what don't they get? They're quite lucky animals.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a post the other day, and this person was like, "If you could come back as any animal for one day, what animal would you be?" And I'm like, "My cat." Are you
Yeah, yeah,
kidding me? Like my
yeah.
cat.
And then there was that evil cat video the other day with all the evil cats going around and scratching all the humans.
Love it. Love it. Oh, right. So today, Justine and I want to talk about, conferences and, some really, really, really exciting stuff when it comes to conferences. But before we do that, we need to ask Justine a very, very important question, which is absolutely life-changing. Are you
And
ready?
my mum loves these questions.
Okay.
Here it
Is
is.
it normal or not to use the force when you're sitting on the couch? So, say, for example, you're sitting on the couch and you want the remote control and you put your hand out and you just think, come to me, remote.
I have to say, I've done that a million times.
So it's completely normal. You test the force.
I would say that there's probably not one person on this planet that hasn't gone
Try to use
to
the force.
manipulate the TV control to come to them. I bet you everybody has, or like me when I was a little kid, thinking in my head on the count of three, the light is going to turn off because I'm too lazy to get up. One, two, and it did so many times, but it might be my sister, or it might be my mum or someone. But the amount of times the light turned off exactly
You
on
were
the count of
testing your telekinesis then.
insane. Yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. All the time as a child, and trying to get things to
Actually,
bloody. Hey,
is it normal or not to sit there and then kind of just look at someone and go, get me the chocolate out of the fridge, get me
oh,
the
I've done
chocolate out
that
of the
plenty of
fridge,
times
get
too.
me the chocolate out of the fridge.
I've done that a million times too.
So it is completely normal to practice your magic
To try and use the force.
of the force.
Does it work? Not
Let us
most
know
of
if
the
it works for you because mine could use some tweaking, that's
time.
for sure. Actually, that leads to an interesting topic because you know how there's a lot of people out there that talk about poltergeists and how they come in and they open up all the cupboards and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know why I can't get a poltergeist to sweep the fucking floor.
that's
I
why you have a
already leave the
dog.
I already leave the cupboard doors open. There's just this one pantry we've got in our kitchen that we always leave the door open. I don't know why we do it. John does it. I do it. And I don't know why I don't have a poltergeist that's like, shut the door.
Yeah.
Why can't I have an ultimate poltergeist? So what's the ultimate to what's the opposite to a unpoltergeist? I don't know. But
Poltergeist,
I
cleaning
want one
guys.
that goes and shuts all the drawers and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to open them because they're already open.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Funny.
All
Yeah.
right, so let's talk about conferences. So during COVID, there were a lot of conferences that were forced to go online. It was necessity. We had to do it. But now that we're coming out of COVID, do we really need to be doing all of them online again?
I think I can't wait to do the one in November, just having the connection of people and the fun.
Mm.
The fun again, eh? It's I
Oh,
think
my life is the Australian Hypnosis Conference every single day right
yeah,
now. And I got like two emails about it yesterday, the post-conference training, and it's just my life right now. It's every single day heading towards those 2 days of just awesomeness.
yeah, 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 yeah. They're so much fun. I think our job, especially if you work online, is pretty isolating. I know a lot of hypnotherapists, and they say to me all the time that going into town and socializing and having to do normal is can become quite hard because you're so
Mm.
used to like working online and a select few people that you hang out with and stuff. So I think building a community in person and having that connection is bloody important, not just for learning and stuff, but for mental health. Like,
Mm.
you know, There's
What
people out there
people
that
need people.
history. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also that going to these conferences, so Lisa Forsberg, she's a beautiful example. So Lisa came to the conference, the Australian Hypnosis Conference, for the first time last year, and she was a bit about her business. And she turned to me after, like, literally a couple of days after the conference, and she goes, I don't know what happened, but just by attending the conference, having a refresh and connecting with people, coming home, my business has launched.
yeah.
She
And
literally
it's
went from bugger all to becoming a clinical hypnotherapist with private health and all that sort of stuff because she's busy now.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's that, isn't it, that group think that when you get more than a group of people together, it's like the brains all kind of mold and everyone's
They
ideas and stuff
sync.
become the same. And the conversations I had last year were awesome. They were like so many different
Mm,
facets of stuff of healing or of hypnotherapy and so many different ideas coming at you. It's so neat because yeah, all the same industry, but within our industry, there's so many different things that we do and so many things we help people with. So like sitting down and talking to people. I even remember talking to the handwriting, the lady that we had on the other day,
mm.
had cool conversations with her and stuff at last year, eh? It
Yeah,
was
honestly. And there were so many fantastic people there last year that I honestly wish I just had more time to just sit and talk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're busy, busy. You are.
Yeah, because it was just fantastic. And not only that, but I got to meet people that I'd never met before that were just as passionate about the industry as myself. So, for example, Zoe Westcott, when she does her graphology and stuff like that, I'd seen heaps of her stuff online, but it was like there was still something that I hadn't connected with.
Yeah,
And then when I met her in person, I was like, this woman's energy is like,
so
ah,
good.
it was, it was. And her partner or husband, I'm not quite sure, he was gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
was so lovely. And we had so many lovely people that were the partners of people attending the conference at the dinner on Saturday night.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a lot of fun.
You know. And how good was it to take it down a notch? Rather than Saturday night, everybody dress up and get fancy and all that, we dressed down.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And we
yeah.
were just stupid about it and
And
silly.
it was real casual and fun, eh? It was like a bunch of, for me, it felt like a bunch of friends or family, catching up. It had that energy to it,
Mm.
which is really good because it helps with connection way easier. You feel more comfortable talking to
It's like we
people and
all cleansed.
being, yeah,
And not only that, but for me personally, when I register for a conference online, there's about a 95 to 98% chance that I'm not going to watch all of those videos.
mm, yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's the truth of it.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with online conferences or anything like that, but I do know statistically for myself, for me to actually sit down and be actively engaging in what that speaker is talking about, and that speaker might have that golden nugget that changes my life, that
yeah, yeah,
completely segues the way I do something. I think, oh, that tiny little tweak is going to level that up. But I don't know that at the time because online, it's just so easy to go, I'll do it later. Or I've
actually,
paid my
that,
noni now.
I think for my brain, when you're forced to actually sit down and watch, because it's not polite to go on your phone or do other things. When you're at a conference,
Yeah.
you there's conference etiquette where when there's a speaker there, you actually engage with the speaker and you watch and you're interested.
Mm.
Whereas when you're watching things online, I know that I can watch something online, have Netflix going, and be writing a course all at the same time, and probably still getting it in, but that active engagement and having to listen to things I wouldn't normally listen to
And
because
that
I'd
and
be
that connection of question as well, where if you've got that question and it pops into your mind, you can ask the speaker right there and you can navigate their level of professionalism,
yeah, 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 yeah,
how they respond, because how people respond to questions on the fly that's the next level NLP stuff. You're like,
Yeah, yeah.
that person's switched on.
I'm looking forward to like meeting Zalita like 100%
Hmm.
at the conference, just because it's like, someone coming from America.
I've already
Um,
written questions for Zelita. I have. So here's one, okay? And just in case she's watching and she might want to answer or at least catch me up in November because I'm like the fly against the wall, like million jobs. So, Zelita, I heard this thing the other day, and it might be conspiracy theory, but it's been racking my brains for like 4 days now. I heard this theory the other day that never once do you ever dream that you're on your mobile phone or working with any form of technology. So, you never dream that your phone is in your hand and you're scrolling. You never dream that you're on the computer typing and then you're seeing your screen doing stuff.
wow.
And I thought about it. I really, really thought
I
about it. And I'm like, that's so true for me
don't
because
think
I,
I've
I, I dream I lose my phone. I can't find it. I dream, I don't think I've ever dreamt I was on my computer. Like I've dreamt that I was playing a game or that I was in the game, but I've never like dreamt about the technology.
random, eh?
And they say you don't dream about technology
Yeah.
because you are dreaming only about natural things to the world.
Yeah. And a connection, I reckon a lot of dreams are about connecting with other people. There's always an element. I think with me, there's always an element of other people involved in the dreams. Like if it was a not a nice dream, like say if I was going to Australia to the conference,
Mm-hmm.
I do remember I sometimes have dreams the night before of like missing the plane.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
all of those kind of funny dreams that we have and you laugh
Mm-hmm.
about. Um, yeah, but they always kind of have an element of people involved or connection involved with them.
Because
Yeah,
when you think
interesting.
about it, like dreams are like they're kind of like this fabrication, this fabricated reality that we can't deny.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
say for example, you get someone who doesn't dream. They're not a big dreamer or they've never really had the dream, yet they still believe other people have dreams,
yeah,
but they've never experienced it themselves. But if you go into the realm of hypnosis, hypnosis is not real, it's just pretend. And it's like, well, that's the same scenario.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I've
yeah,
never seen the Taj Mahal, but I believe it exists.
yeah.
You
I
know.
started writing my dreams about 2 or 3 weeks ago for a Carl Jung thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, and it was interesting because I don't usually remember my dreams and stuff, but because I had to actually wake up and write them,
Mm-hmm.
it's quite exciting because I had the intention of remembering, and I'd wake up and I'd remember this dream, and then like 5 minutes later, it's gone. But I had it on paper, and then of course the creative mind just starts kind of creating and making the dream bigger. But I remember there was like a couple of days where I'd forget to do it, but I woke up knowing I had to do it because I had this cool dream, and I'm walking in town or something. I'm like, fuck, was that bloody dream? I want to write it down because I know it was cool, but I have no freaking idea what it was because it is 100% gone,
Mm-hmm.
But the dream world is interesting, eh?
Yeah, honestly, like I think I find it really, really fascinating because like it's not like you go to bed and then you go, I'm gonna dream about this. Like you can start to control it when you go into lucid dreaming and things like that. But you can't just go, right, I'm going to go to sleep tonight and I'm going to dream of red tulips.
Yeah,
You might start thinking like that, but where it goes from there, you're just at the whim of your mind. You don't get the choice from there,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I rarely have nightmares. I mean, when I do, they're yucky. But 99% of the time when I go to sleep at night, because like they say, your last thought at the end of the night should be something good because you're about to stew on that for 8 hours. So my last thought at night is usually what are good things about sleeping. So I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
oh, my cuddly blanket, my soft pillow, I can hear the cat purring, and that's what I'm going through in my mind.
Yeah.
because whatever that last thought is, you're going to be thinking about that for quite some time.
Geez, I get addicted because I've been watching it, a couple of Netflix programs.
Hmm.
At night, I just get so hooked on that program lately that I just can't finish it
I'm
because
a
I want to know what
binger.
happens. So by the time I go to sleep, it's like, yeah, my dreams are like analyzing what happens in those programs.
We get that with video games. We've been playing
Down the road.
Satisfactory lately, and I've just been continuing to make the factories to make those factories that are going to make those factories. I'm like, just stop, Trish, just stop. But I'm really looking forward to meeting Zelita in person. Like even when I spoke to her online, she just has this soft energy. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, she has like a marshmallow energy about her. Like, you've got to really look after her because, she's like this gorgeous orb.
yeah.
You know
And
what I
if you
mean?
hear her, I don't know if anyone gets to have a session with Zelita, but when she does hypnosis on you, she hums. Like her voice is not just a voice talking nicely.
Mm.
There's tones in her voice. And because I did a whole coaching program with her, it might have been like, I don't know if it was 12 sessions or something over a while. And
Wow.
yeah, and I'd always get the privilege of having a session at the end. Like she'd do something for whatever I needed. And yeah, she would hum, like her voice would just have these vibrations as well. And I would just be like, how are you doing that? Like I remember saying to her one time, she goes, she just talked about how the vibration comes through as she speaks. It's really cool, man.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Bit of magic there. Yeah.
Well, segueing onto a different topic, Stuart Walter's going nuts right now. So he's going to
Yeah.
be teaching at the
All that.
conference. He's just
Yeah.
had another two Aussies win gold medals that came through him.
Yeah. Bloody awesome. And that's one thing that, do you know that the sports hypnotherapy, it's like we talk a lot about the trauma and we talk a lot about these things, but for sports, it's it's part of it. Like the mindset stuff is huge, eh?
Oh,
Like it's
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
Like even if you're doing small time stuff like what me. So if I'm going into soccer and I'm like, oh, I really don't have the energy to play today, do you think it's going to be easier or harder for me to get started? You know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and that's what Stuart wants to do. He wants to take everybody that attends his tour through the process of becoming the champion therapist.
yeah,
Like that therapist that's like, I've got you. Let's go fix this problem.
yeah.
That's what he wants to take you through. He wants to take you through the exact process so you step into that role and your client, yep, I can help you. Let's sort this out.
Yeah. And if you are interested in doing a sports hypnotherapy, he does if you're a trained hypnotherapist and you actually want to specialize in sports, he actually takes individual people on, and actually takes them
Yeah.
through quite
He's
a
just
long.
released his own training program, so I'm giving people a heads up that he'll be actually, releasing a bit more of at the Australian Hypnosis Conference because he's worked really, really hard with it, and there's not many people that do it the way
Goals.
he does it.
Yeah, and he's got the proof is in the pudding, eh? He
Well,
works with
he's got
athletes.
47 gold medalists under his belt now,
Yeah,
so don't tell me he doesn't know what he's doing.
yeah.
So, yeah. And also, I cannot wait to meet Reg as well. Like I've done
I've met
stage hyp
Reg. He's so fun.
yeah, well I've done stage hypnosis with Dan Cadell and Michael de Charlotte. And I have to admit, nothing was better than meeting them in person and doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I've met Reg online and watch his videos on YouTube and stuff like that. But in person, like I just can't wait.
I was gonna say watch out Aussie because it's a lot of trust me, it's a lot of fun. Like, Reg is so much fun. Like
Yeah.
he's a great personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can pick that up as soon as you talk to him online and stuff, but meeting him in person, I think it's going to be next level. And I love the idea that now I'm not saying this is going to happen, okay? But I love the idea that he might be taking anybody who does his training out on the street to just get into it. Like,
Yeah.
let's actually hypnotize some people because when I did my stage hypnosis training, unfortunately, the woman that organized it also organised to do a show that night, which was a great part, but number one, didn't tell us, and number two, didn't let us contribute to the show of any shape or form, and it was all about her.
Yeah. That's not,
And
yeah.
I was a bit filthy on it. And I said to Steve Hatziak, I said, fuck this. I said, follow me. And Steve just followed me. He was like, oh, Trisha said follow, you better follow. And I walked up on the stage right at the end and then grabbed all the students and said, hey, all of us have just learnt this because she was the main whatever of the show. All of us have just learnt this. We are more than happy to help you. And I'm like, that's just rude. Like, we got to the end of this fantastic training and then you organize this show all around yourself that we got invited to, but we didn't know was on till the last minute, so that you could practice. Like, jog on,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
we did a fun thing here. We had quite a big training. There was heaps of people. It must have been 20 or 30. I can't remember, but it filled up my big training center. And
Mm-hmm,
it was just 2 days. It was hilarious. And we did a show on the Saturday night where
mm-hmm.
Reg got up and hypnotized this guy to go around and ask people, what undies they were wearing. And he had to come up and do a report. And apparently his wife said he didn't believe in it and he was skeptical and nothing would work on him. And it worked on him. And my daughter was said that she didn't wear any undies. And he's going up and he's like, there's a couple of people in here that don't wear undies. That's so
Can't wait
funny.
for his show on Saturday night as well. Like, he deliberately called it winging it.
Yeah.
Because he wants to teach people that when you do your instant inductions, that is literally what you're doing. You are winging it,
Yeah.
and you're going out there and you're doing this stuff and making people have fun and just enjoying themselves. Like, oh, it's going to be so much fun, so much fun. But I have to admit, like, I have watched some people with online conferences and then, like I said, like, never gone back to those videos that I've purchased,
Mm.
like, ever. And like, I get to edit the videos for the replays for the Australian Hypnosis Conference. And when I look at the statistics, we had an 86% increase of people watching the replays because they got to engage with that person in person.
Yeah. And they probably wanted to, I suppose a lot of them, because you have to choose the room that you go into, and
Mm.
then you meet the speaker at the dinner table, and then you're like, shit, I wish I watched that one, and so you go back and watch it.
Mm.
Yeah. For New Zealanders, we're talking about the Aussie conference.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it costs the same to fly to Melbourne as it does just to fly from like Auckland to Wellington or to Christchurch. And so actually going over to Melbourne and staying in the hotels a good price. It costs the same as if you were just traveling around New Zealand by
Mm.
plane. It's crazy. It's not
Mm.
yeah, it's the price is okay.
Yeah, get onto your flights now. You can even book accommodation at the venue, and then you don't have to pay for it until you get there.
Yeah, I need to do that. I still haven't done that.
You better get onto it because I've got a
No,
lot of
imagine
people
if I
email.
ended up having to stay down the road or something. I'd be like, oh, pull up a mattress in someone's room because
Because
I don't even
I left it too late. Oh,
no,
that's funny. And, like, in saying that, like, let's have a look, okay? So let's go onto the website.
I'm gonna share. I'll let you hang on, make co-host.
So let's start at the top whilst we're here, okay? So we've got Amber Rimmer in the morning, and she's going to do a sound healing session. That's at 8 a.m. What happened last year is we like to listen to what our attendees wanted and then try and level up on it. And last year they said to us, why don't we have Friday night pre-drinks, which is what we've booked, and it's completely booked out. The restaurant can only take 30 people. If we can expand out on that next year, we absolutely will. But then we also had some people saying, look, why couldn't we do some yoga or something in the morning? And I reached out to Amber and I said, hey, I said, do you want to do something? Like, you're really good at that stuff. And she goes, I'd love to do a sound healing. So right before you even start the conference, if you want to, you can go to the conference room and just have a session for yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
chill out. And Franchelle's doing that on the Sunday as well. So Franchelle's going to be doing some, I don't know if she's doing a shamanic healing ceremony.
Yeah.
So
How
Zolita
cool.
will probably be really enjoying that as well. Do you ever get the feeling those two are just going to go zoink?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to get them out of the corner. And then we've got Pierre coming from Canada, and he's doing polyvagal theory. So, as you know, with gut directed, I love anything to do with the vagus nerve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Pierre's flying all the way from Canada to actually teach us how to do it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, when a speaker doesn't even question the price of paying for the conference, because those that are listening, guess what? Everybody pays except for those that are on the crew. So even the speakers have paid. It's not the kind of conference where, oh, that one got in for free because they're a good friend, and that one's got access to my email list because they do this for me, or anything like that. It's all run fully legit and committed. And unfortunately, I've had to learn some really harsh lessons with this when it comes to certain speakers just not showing up or not being organized, or I've had to pull out the tough stuff, and go, hey, if you don't get it done and I've given you 3 months, I'm going to have to go with who's on the waiting list. Because one thing I do find interesting is that there are speakers out there that book in for the online conferences, and they get all the advertising right up to that last minute where you're really pushing them, going, look, I need to get this sorted out. And then all of a sudden, someone's sick. Oh, I can't. I've got to go do
Yeah.
this. Now,
They
I
pull it.
get that. I get that people get sick. I really do. I get that life interrupts life. But every fucking time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you kidding me? Because trust me, we've got you people on a list. I call it
Yeah.
my shit list. It's literally a file on my computer called my shit list. And those people are on it. So put in an application, please, because I'm going to
Yeah.
get ChatGPT to write you a really nice email because mine won't be as good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No. And that's what they do. And that's one of the flaws of having the online conferences, especially the free ones, because there's a lot of speakers that will just give the same video that they recorded 3, 4, 5 years ago,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
or they don't show up, or you send them emails or take up on their offer and it just you ghosted from there. It's like, hang on, I've got a question. Like, be proactive here. So
Mm.
that's what I love about it being in person as well. And that's another reason why, someone like Pierre, he's just gorgeous. I cannot wait to meet him. Met him online just before COVID. Honestly, I think he's just gorgeous. And he didn't even question the price. He didn't turn around and go, because I've had speakers do this to me. He didn't turn around and go, oh, are you going to cover my flights?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you going to cover my accommodation because I'm Pierre? And it's like, well, you know what? Us Aussies are really down to earth. We all love to take accountability for our own stuff. And why don't you fuck off?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Because we'd rather have people that understand the value of supporting their local people and their sister countries.
And he was great. He's just
Oh, Pierre's just gorgeous. Like, he really is. And then we've got Zelita Stewart. Now, Petra was at last year's conference, and Petra just wanted just that little bit of a nudge to get up on stage and talk to people. And she sent me an email and she goes, oh, do you think people would be interested in this? And I'm like,
oh yeah.
so you're in? Like, I'm not even going to answer that. Like, here's the link. Just grab your spot. Let's just do it. And
Yeah.
she loves things that are spiritual, like Jungian stuff. She just is full into the Jungian archetypes. All of her therapy is based on Carl Jung's work, like absolutely everything. But she loves working with women,
Yeah.
and them stepping into their feminine divine as such without going the whole, like, oh, I'm so feminine. that I need to be butch to make you listen to me. Like, it's all about that balance,
Yeah.
you know? So Petra's absolutely gorgeous. She's so down to earth. I love talking to her. And then what we decided to do was we decided to have a lunchtime panel because we don't want last year's speakers to feel like, oh, we came to this conference and then we got crickets. Because you've done that, haven't you? You've been to those conferences, whether it's online or in person, and then after that, it was just nothing,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So we thought what we'd do is we'd have a lunchtime panel. So during lunch, there's people like yourself, Connie, Pam, Franchell, David Oates from last year, all re-attending the conference to revisit those topics from last year or to give you a level up on anything you've got with people that are actually working in the industry. You know,
Yep. So you
that's
can
what I,
and stuff.
yeah, exactly. It's not like all of our speakers are working in the industry as well. It's not like speaking is their job.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They are working in the industry as well. And unfortunately, there are a lot of speakers out there that haven't done that legacy work, you know, that part where they create the legacy, where they did their studies, they ticked off the boxes, they've got the client cases. There are unfortunately people that skip that and just went to, well, I'm a speaker, so therefore I'm a professional of the field. It's like,
Yeah.
not quite. You're a speaker that is a professional of your script that you were taught from somebody else or
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
ideations. Like,
These people are legends.
yeah, everybody who's coming to the conference are working in the field, they're doing the legwork and they're creating those legacy profiles, like working with those clients. Like even Stuart Walter right now, he's working with Olympians,
Yep.
you know, like just freaking champions. Linda's coming all the way from the UK to talk about psychology branding because when I spoke to her online, she has over 100 hypnotherapists in her local area and she's running a thriving business.
Holy moly.
I don't even think there's 100 in
Good.
Victoria sometimes. That's a whole fucking state.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like how many hypnotherapists would be in your area?
Oh, there's about 120,000 people in Rotorua, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've got about 6 that I know of all trained in this area. And every once in a blue moon, someone says, "Oh, do you know this person? They do hypnotherapy," and I haven't heard of them, which is. But then sometimes I think maybe
Very
they've got the
rare.
name wrong or something. But
Mm.
yeah, so about for our town, there's about 6. Yeah, I'd
There's a
say, or 5.
hypnotherapist basically in every second street where Linda is, and she's running
It
a
was so good.
successful business.
It's because Hypno rocks, eh?
Yeah, yeah, because what she did was she went, right, how do you do psychology branding? How do you actually put yourself out there? How do you get yourself to pop whilst all the others are grabbing the attention? You know,
I
and
didn't
you don't
actually
need a big following.
say.
Hmm?
I didn't know Linda was from the UK.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she's
So she's from the
flying here
UK.
from the UK.
Hmm. Yep.
Oh,
Flying in
that's
from
cool.
the UK. And then we've got Pamela. Who the fuck am I? Seriously, if you need a slap in the face to get started, just maybe we should tape out an area and we'll just have Pamela stand in it. And then we're like, right, when you're ready to go in, just there you go. And now you'll come out absolutely awesome knowing who the fuck you are. Ooh, you go, girl.
I remember doing, I don't know if it was a reading or something, but at one of the conferences in Aussie a few 4 years ago.
Yeah, I did a reading with her.
Yeah, it was really cool, eh?
Mm, mm. You know, and she won't hold any punches. She doesn't take any prisoners. She doesn't have time for that.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get on with it and do this shit. You know. Now, if I was watching a talk like hers online, like as in a prepaid one that I've purchased, and I'm like, oh, Pamela, who the fuck am I? Yep, no worries. I probably wouldn't get around to watching it. And the only reason being is I'm not going to be in her energy in that space where I'm like, right, let's do it. Let's do it
Yeah, and
now.
she's like that, eh? I thought for anybody, I think, does she still do the Facebook? things. I used to jump on and she'd say things to you.
Oh, I'm not
And
sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if she does.
yeah, they were heaps of cool. They were fun. Yeah.
But never would I be in that moment to watch one of her conference replays where I'm like, let's do it now. Like when you're in her energy, it's like she's a vortex. So, because I've met her once at a conference, and every time I felt myself being gravitated towards her, somebody zoomed in, and I was like, oh, for Christ's sake, come on, piss off. I want to talk to her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I waited until it was the second day of the conference, and I waited till everybody had gone into the rooms, and she was finally sitting there on her own. I'm like, oh, finally, me, me,
Yeah.
you know, because she sucks you in. Like you can't get away from it because she's like, right.
Got a table this year?
Hmm?
Is she going to have a table set up this year?
Yeah, yeah. So she's got an exhibit and all that sort of stuff as well.
And are you bringing those fat cards?
I can. Yeah.
Yeah, bring them. I've still got a set there in my like office drawer.
Yeah.
You
All
did have
right. We'll all get out our naughty cards.
yeah.
And then we've got Reg, which is pretty self-explanatory. Instant inductions. I can imagine walking into his room and everybody's just like,
I remember the first time he did like a handshake one because we did this like actually we've done a couple of courses. We did a big one down in Wellington and that was full of people too actually. And he was teaching the handshake and he's way taller than me. And he did a handshake and he was boom, and I ended up flying on leaning on him like this and then it was like, oh, and I'm back up again. It was so funny. But yeah, he had kind of I think I hadn't had it done on me, and because we're friends, he used me as the demo. It was hilarious. So
so
like real hands on, like street hypnosis stuff. It was fun.
I need to have a talk with Reg before the conference about Justine. What? Hey, everybody, if you listen to this, jump into the comments. What do you want Justine to say out loud?
Oh
And
no,
we'll
it won't work. It
I'm
won't.
not wearing underpants.
No, it won't work. Nah, that
Actually,
won't.
I would love to see something like Reg coming in with a subliminal message for you, and then all of a sudden you're just sitting there at the conference and you're like, and it's like, Justine, the force isn't working right now.
We'll see. But I'm going to aren't I going to be one of the helpers? We just
Beg your
helpers
pardon?
on Saturday night.
Yes, yes. So you're going to be one of his sexy assistants as
Oh,
such.
that's not sexy, but I'll be an assistant.
And we've also got Chris.
Guys me to feel that way, but yeah.
And we've also got Crystal Ray. She's going to be an assistant as well. She wants so desperately to learn stage hypnosis. And I said to her, look, one of the best ways is going to be an assistant at an actual stage show.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she's jumping in as well, and she's just bursting out of her skin. And Crystal has done comedy stage hypnosis. So, it perfectly aligns with her and Reg to do all that stuff
Yeah.
as well. So in between you three, I'll just be watching, and I know that I'm just going to piss myself laughing. Like it's going to be amazing. We've also got Terry Messenger, and she's complete opposite end of the spectrum. So she's talking about spiritual prosperity codes. And when I watch Terry online, I think to myself, this woman has got some really, really great stuff, but it's even better when she's in person.
Yeah.
It's like she bounces off the energy of everybody and then amplifies it and gives that energy back. So she's going to be taking people through that sort of stuff. And honestly, if you are struggling for energy on the day, just go stand next to Terry.
Yeah.
She's like the Energizer Bunny. She has got plenty of battery power for absolutely everybody if you're feeling a bit flat.
Yeah.
She will lift you up and then keep on helping you out. She will straighten that crown for you and say, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly. So like I said, if you're lacking energy by the end of Saturday and you need it for Saturday night, just go stand next to Terry. She'll help you out. And then on Sunday, we've got Jan. I haven't seen Jan since I came to New Zealand. There's going to be so much squealing and hugging and carrying on. Like, oh, I can't wait to connect with her again, you know. And Jan's going to be talking about toxic relationship recovery. I think all of us have some kind of connection when it comes to that. Yeah, even if it's small, like even if it's like, oh, we didn't agree, so we split up, or if it's large trauma stuff. I think all of us can relate to that on some level.
Nearly every client comes in, there's some kind of relationship
Mm,
stuff, whether it's relationship couples or parents or, there's always that kind of stuff going on, isn't it, with clients and
mm,
with people.
mm. But the thing is also that when you meet her in person, it can really put you into activation mode to do something about that problem, not only for your clients, but for yourself as well. Because we all do it in relationships. Like there might be just a little tweak that you could make that's just a reminiscent of an old relationship that you didn't quite realize that was still going on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know. And it doesn't matter whether you were the one in fault, they were the one in fault, you were both in fault. It still needs to be amended, you know. And it's really, really easy for us that when we watch things online rather than in person, it's really easy for us to go, oh, well, I just sort that out later.
Yeah,
And then we don't revert back to it.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So Jan will literally help you nip that in the bud.
yeah,
Then we've got Karen DeMole, Money Secrets Uncovered. I told her
yeah.
she's not allowed to lick any windows this year because unfortunately she literally got sick the day that her flight was going out last year and she's like, I just can't. She goes, my head's going to explode. And I was like, that's okay. I get it. Fuck, what do we do? you know? So, yeah, so she's going to help you with money because money sucks, you have to admit. Like, it doesn't matter what shape or form it comes in, whether it's cash, card, digital, Bitcoin. I think it sucks.
Unless it's coming in and it's in your hand and you're ready to spend it, then it's great.
Yeah, yeah, but then some people have
Money
issues with
buys
that.
chocolate.
Oh, yeah, I'm always good for the chocolate, trust me.
When I
Always
don't
good.
have money to not be able to buy chocolate, then it's like sucks.
But I've never met Karen in person though. And I could honestly say Karen's the kind of person, or Karen, I should say. Apparently, I've been saying it wrong for years, so sorry. But Karen's the kind of person that I honestly think if we lived closer and I was in trouble, she'd be the person that I'd be running to going, help me, help me, help me. Like, she's just so genuine. I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to meet her. And then we've got this weirdo, um, oh, Justine
Yeah, and
Letty.
purposely use that photo. Always every time I see it because there's plenty of photos, but that's the boob. That's a boob shot photo. Then you
You
always,
gave me that photo.
yeah, but you can crop the boobs out.
Oops.
Every time I see it, it's like, God, it's a boob.
Notice. I didn't even notice the boobs until you said about the boobs.
It's like underneath the black. Every time I see it, I go, oh, what am I talking on?
Right? Boobs.
I always look at it as a boob shot.
I didn't like until you picked it out, and I think it was about nearly
I'm
12
actually
months ago.
surprised I haven't laughed with you about it because every time I see it, it makes me laugh. Oh my God.
I think it was 12 months ago. You said you were going to send me a new photo to fix that up, and I was like, I'm not redoing the website again. You're just a boob girl.
If I look at that photo, yeah, it makes me laugh. Like, and it doesn't have it in context, so it's like the face and the line, and then the boobs, and then the arms are cut off.
No arms, no arms.
Today I'm going to be talking about breast enlargement. It'd be a good photo for that.
I'll tell you a funny story, right? I was at a conference years and years ago, and Rob de Groot was there talking about breast enlargement. Anyway, his talk was on, and then my talk was on, and I was like, yep, no worries. So I went and did my talk, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely fantastic. Grabbed my stuff, went home. I didn't realize Rob had left all his stuff on the podium. And then my crew's come in and put the stuff on the podium and stuff. And as we've left, so when we've gotten home after like a week and a half, I've got all of his speech and everything in
Oh,
with my stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, he probably thinks I stole his talk.
oh no, he probably wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known where it went because
I,
it's
well, I didn't even know I had it. And
yeah,
then the same thing happened with Gillian Madigan last year because we bought a couple of her colouring books, right? And then I didn't realize John had gotten two, and I grabbed two. And then later on the Sunday when we were packing up, I said to John, I said, oh shit, I said, we've got two lots of Gillian's books. I said, I think I fucking flogged one. And he goes, oh, really? And I ended up giving it to Rodney and saying, hey, can you give this to Gillian when you go and see her for your session and
yeah.
apologize? Because every time I tried to catch up with Gillian to give it back to her, she was either busy or I was busy with the conference. I was like, oh my God, I'm an
What was
accidental
Gillian's
thief.
colouring books? Were they to do with the body? The
Yeah. So she'd done all this like Mandela kind of art, but it was
yeah,
more indigenous and it's just gorgeous. And
yeah, yeah,
you can color it in and do the affirmations and stuff. And she created it all herself. And they're big books, so they're not like little books. They were big books.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm an accidental thief. So if I walk off with something and yeah, it's I haven't paid for it or something, you bloody pick me up on it.
Yeah.
So I didn't even realize I was doing it. But yeah, anyway, Justine's going to be actually be talking about the Simpson Protocol, and you've got people booked in for the training as well because it's not very well known here in Australia, and it is pinnacle
It's
training.
amazing. I was talking to this lady yesterday. I was seeing one of my students who's actually from Australia, and she just did the about 2 months ago. She started SP with me in GT,
Hmm.
and she got on the call with me yesterday, and she said all I've been using in the last month or so with my clients is GT and SP.
Hmm.
And she goes, and I just had a $14,000 month
Good
with
on
clients. I
her.
was like, how many clients is that? Because that's quite a big freaking month, especially right now, because it's really, really quiet. And she's like, I had 16 last week. I was like, holy shit. And she's like, and I'm
Good
just
on her.
doing SP and GT. And she is just like, she's going to write a thing up about it. But because it's just quite, it's quite easy to use, it's just
Mm.
got the flow and the questions. And she was just telling me that, yeah, she was like super stoked. This Australian lady, really nice
Yeah,
lady. But
good. Well, hopefully we can get more Aussies on it because
yeah,
I've been through the process myself recently, and I found it really good.
we did kind of bounce off track though, I
Oh
think.
yeah, we're always stuffing around with something.
It's a very, very imaginative SP session. Not the usual.
Not the usual stuff.
Yeah.
But we've also got Connie as well. Now, Connie, what Connie's done is she's leveled up from last year because we decided that anybody who was a previous speaker could only be on panel for the following year. And Connie came to me and she goes, look, I really, really want to level this up. And she showed me her presentation. I went, oh, okay, yep, no worries. You can have another spot again this year. Because lots of people last year she spoke about the trauma for children, but then a lot of people were asking about the trauma for themselves without doing the regression sort of thing. So she's leveled up that training and is doing it without regression. So having all of that stuff ticked off because there's some people that they don't want to relive the experience. They just want the shit gone,
Yeah, 100%.
you know? And nobody's saying that regression is good or bad. It's just that it's not right for that person.
Mm.
That's all it is. I've got one girlfriend that keeps asking me to do past life healing. And then she tells me how she woke up one morning to her son with a double pump action rifle to her face, and it's like, don't think it's really going to be for you. There are other ways we can do this.
Yeah. That's very extreme.
you
So,
know. So why would you want to go back to that? You know, we definitely want to heal that time and stuff, but we don't want you reliving that experience, you know.
no, not.
No, we don't want you reliving that. And then to wrap it all up, you've got John and I,
We've
we're going to
got
be
these two
talking
people here with this little gadget on the corner.
these fucking weirdos that put these things on their faces.
Hang on,
Like
I'm going to
here it
share
is in the
screen.
background.
Share screen. We should have been sharing screen so people could see what you're talking about. But
What we're
anyway,
yapping on about.
where are you?
There we
Oh,
are.
it was there we are.
So we're going to have the VR there again this year. And this year, people can ask for whatever experience they want. Because last year, we didn't want to show off the plank experience too soon because we wanted people to see Annie doing it and then going, oh, wow, it's unbelievable the physical change you can have when the imagination takes over. So if you want to experience the plank yourself this year, then you can by all means experience
Oh,
it. And yes, Gelson will be there to support you through it all. If you just want to experience the meditation, we will have trip running as well, like whatever experience that you're looking for. We've also got National Geographic, and that's so much fun. That's where you can actually like paddle a kayak with the penguins and stuff. It's really, really good fun. But yeah, John and I are going to be talking. Not only are we going to offer the VR experiences, but we're also going to be talking about passive income. And the reason for that, why is this important for hypnotherapists? Is because there are ways to make passive income without doing all the extra work. And like Warren Buffett says, if you do not find a way to make money in your sleep, you will work for the rest of your waking life.
yeah.
Because the reality is, when are you going to spend more time out of your day with more clients without leading yourself to burnout?
Mm.
So we're going to
And
be
I mean,
showing you that.
it's great. I mean, it helps the people that can't afford to come into this clinic either.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Come and have a session, but they can afford to buy recordings and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're going to show you how to do that. And that there's no like, hey, you got to buy my system to get the passive income. No, we don't do that. What we do is we show you the systems that are already set up. Some of them are free to use, some of them are small investment to use. Just those things to get you started and to get you going when it comes to your passive income. Because even if somebody only gives you $5 a month,
Yeah.
it's still $5 a month. Just don't spend it. Let it recycle over, and you'll be surprised how quickly it'll grow.
And 1,000 people giving you $5 a month is
Mm,
$5,000.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
if you get into like taking photos of your feet, it could be $50,000 a month.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing. Mm.
Or we were joking the other day about ears. Apparently, ears are a thing now where you can people just like looking at photos of your ears. But with hypnotherapy, we don't have to do that. We can do other things.
Yeah, yeah, no, we don't have to go there, that's for sure.
So the ears.
So
Here, look at
yeah,
my.
like at least when you're at a conference, you can engage with people, you can chill out, you can connect with those brains that are like yours as well. Because I find, particularly myself, that there are a lot of people that, even just in general public, they don't have a brain like mine. They don't understand why we talk the way we talk or why we're always so solution focused.
Yeah,
They think we're the crazies,
yeah.
and we're not.
We're good crazy.
And we'll have some fun, and we'll actually hypnotize ourselves in between Reg and do some sound healing in between Franchelle and Amber, and then all the other stuff. Like literally, we're going to come out of the conference on the Sunday beaming like I am ready.
Yeah. So Vicky and I, we went walking, and so we walked and chatted with the big birds that we don't have in New Zealand. So the big parroty things. They're really cute birds. You get them all the time. It's a cocker.
A cockatoo. They're like,
Yeah, and that they hang out and they're big bloody things. So we went with the birds, and then I remember we went to find a dairy somewhere, or a little superette,
That's AKA a deli.
a deli.
There is where
And
we milk
I'm
cows in
thinking,
Australia.
I'm in Australia, so there has to be snakes. Like my logical brain is not thinking there's probably not snakes here. But anyway, I remember walking down the path and I stood on a stick. The stick came up and flicked me in the back of my legs. And fuck, I jumped. Vicky cracked out laughing. I nearly died of fright because I thought I'd been smashed by a snake. And there's like, I don't even think there's any snakes around there, but oh my God. But yeah, Kiwi going to Australia is so much fun.
Well,
And then I was looking
normally,
for spiders.
normally when it comes to snakes in Australia, you'll hear them before they bite you.
I hope so.
They hiss first, so they arc up first, and you've got
Yikes.
about 20 seconds before they'll attack because they arc up to fence.
Do the snake. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, like hello, you're in my space.
You can do an idiom
Fuck
motor
off.
snake.
The
Yes.
snake. Num 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 num. If you don't do the right thing, I bite you. Like, okay, I won't eat as much chocolate. Bye. But so yeah, so because I used to go running along the cliff face, and there was a lot of snakes down there, and there were so many snakes that in the end I used to wear
What cliff face?
hmm?
Not by the hotel.
No, not near the hotel. Down in the country where I used to live, but there were so many snakes along that track that I used to wear Mai Tai pads, and I'd rather than wear them on my shins, I'd turn them to the sides so that way if a snake did bite me, it would hit the pad first, sort of thing. But I also knew that because I was running, you would hear the psst, and then you were gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, so snakes are dangerous. Absolutely, no one's saying they're not going to nab you, but there is a short time frame of reaction where you go, oh, back away,
Back
back
away
away.
from the snake. I was like watching you. Oh, am I going to find one? I was walking, but no, I didn't find one.
Yeah, nah, you didn't seek and you didn't find.
And I wasn't
So
going to go
yeah,
looking. Yes.
and we're also going to have heaps of food there. You don't get that with online conferences, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yummy.
there was so
It's
much food.
all you can eat, as far as I remember.
Yeah, you just keep eating, do what you need to do because if you don't eat it, the chef's gonna eat it. So you just keep eating. There's that much Mentos that we could make a whole factory out of it. So, you just keep eating them as well. Like we don't mind. And then on top of that, we've got exhibits and shows and experiences, and we'll have dinner and
Dinner's
ah,
blues.
yeah, yeah, just have some freaking fun. So yeah.
And we'll be there.
Yes, we'll all be there having a blast, having a blast. So why are in-person conferences better than online ones? Well, duh. You get to meet people, talk to
Yeah.
people, interact with them, and eat lots of food.
Yeah. And so
So,
come and hang out with us in November. And
yes, come hang out with us in November, and then if you're curious, perhaps you could pop over to New Zealand the
yeah.
following
Oh,
year.
in March. I think I'm going to run a little, not so much conference. I'm going to run a 2-day. Is it more like a seminar when you have one speaker at a
It
time?
is.
Yeah. So we are looking at that, and Trish will be coming over too for that. So
Yep.
we're doing one in probably Rotorua, just because that's where I am, and it's easy and it's pretty and it's touristy. So
Hey, I don't mind. Wherever I gotta go, I gotta go.
yeah.
So,
Now
yeah.
that it's been sent live, I better actually organise it.
Yeah, you got to organise it so I can book my flights. Because remember, flights are cheaper to Auckland, no, from New Zealand to Australia and vice versa at the moment than ever
Yeah,
before. Come
yeah.
on, book
And be
my
way
flights.
cheaper. Yeah.
So yeah. All right, lovelies. We'll catch everybody in a fortnight. So get your butt down to the Australian Hypnosis Conference and just have some fun with us. Just come and have
Yeah.
some fun. Okay,
Yeah.
and we've got pay plans. It's completely affordable. It's 12 weeks until the conference tickets close. So we can do up to 12 weeks of payments at the moment. So get onto it because it's completely affordable and yeah, it's honestly, it's a game changer
and heaps of fun.
and heaps of fun. All right, lovely.
Cool.
So we'll catch everybody.